Hey, Shalom Esham. I'm going to start off source by giving no praise to Yahweh Hashem, Yahshua Hashem, Makak that belongs to the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth, what sincerity. Just a quick one. I just want to do that is ultimately all women are Esau's women, right? No matter where they are, Esau's philosophies have been broadcast throughout all the earth, whether that's in his movies and in the music, right? Because everyone nowadays has a phone, has a phone or whatever, has access to television, internet, for the most part. And one of the things that's being pushed is they're for rural places, the realest rural places of the earth, to have internet access, right? Mainly for the chip, right? But also, it helps push Esau's philosophies out, right? Because if you got a radio station, right? Then let's say you just got Indian, quote unquote, musicians, and it's only their songs. Where they getting influence from? They're getting influence from the West, right? So then they're going to be singing them songs, and that's going to be pushing a vibration on the peoples, whether it's woman worship, or woman over the man or whatever, what have you. Right? So Esau's philosophies have been put on all these women. Apostle Gabar did a video just about women being feminine, quote unquote, right? And it just made the point, like, look, the fact that they wear trousers, shows just how off feminine they are, right? Because that's a masculine dress, right? And the law prohibits that, right? So this is Genesis 3. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. When modern day, this will be Esau, right? You know him as Esau, right? It says, which the Lord power had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath the Most High said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. So he lied. The serpent lied. Esau lied, right? Isaiah 58 and 3, Psalms 58 and 3, where it says, they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, right? So it says, ye shall not surely die, which that was a lie, because Eve did die, right? And now we all die. You read GMSFAQ 25th chapter, it says, from the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, right? Which is why Yahushua has come with the second covenant, wherein we will not die, right? Because our hearts will be made perfect. Our minds will be made perfect, right? And then we will not die, right? It says, for the Most High doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil, right? So Eve wanted that power over Adam, right? As the apostles have been going into, right, in the last couple of months. She wanted that power over Adam, which is ultimately that energy of feminism, right? That's been pushed on these women, right? And you might have a woman, that might be like, I'm not down with feminisms, but there'll be stuff that she doesn't like, right? There'll be stuff she doesn't like, because this is the world that she's been brought up in. If the men ain't correct, then the women also ain't correct, right? This is Isaiah 3 and 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Right now, Israel is the Most High's firstborn, right? And which means all the heathen nations are younger than Israel, right? It says, and women rule over them, and that's literal. You look at a typical Jake household, the woman, the mom, whatever, what have you, she's really the one at the head of the house, right? Not in all cases. Sometimes the dad's got a bit more, control, but somewhere along the line, right? Because what does the scripture say? Is first Ezra's 4, Right, so many have gone out of their wits for women, right? And majority of our men, majority of our people, they're ruled by women, right? That simp spirit has been, once again, that's also something that's been pushed upon the people, right? You gotta, it's all about pleasing her, and she don't have to please you. She can just open her legs every now and then, and that's okay. You should be happy with that, right? But when you read the scriptures, a woman's supposed to be a help. Right, nowadays they're just a headache, right? A headache with a vagina attached. Right, so Jeremiah 31:22, how long will that go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth, a woman shall compass a man. Right, and ultimately, that's, what was that, Eddie Murphy? Right, he's talking about bringing a woman in, from Africa or whatever into America. Then all of a sudden she starts saying shit like, what have you done for me lately? Right? Especially in the West, a woman has come past a man. Right? When you've got them Western influences, once again, like I said, it ain't going to be as bad as it is here or in Babylon, America, as it is in, say, in the midst of, Fiji or something, right? It's not going to be as bad, but the point is his energy, his philosophies have been pushed throughout the world, right? And especially if if you bump into women from those countries over here, right? Why do you think they're over here? They're over here because they saw it and they liked it. They liked what it encompassed, right? If you, for instance, here in England, right, you meet maybe women from, up north or whatever, further north of London, and they all love it in London. Why? Because London has that spirit, that energy where women are just worshipped, right? So that's why they're drawn to this place as one reason, right? Whereas you say, once again, and just proving the point that that's why people will look at a place, at a country, and be like, yo, I want to go there, I want to be there, because they've seen the allure of it, right? So don't think just because they're here and they're fresh, they don't know what's going on, right? This is Habakkuk 2:5. Don't I want this? Yeah, I'll grab it. So, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. Once again, that's his philosophies, right? It says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people, right? And even as I'm reading that, what I'm remembering is my mother, right? Now, for instance, because Esau's, made England so alluring, he made America so alluring, right? People from, the quote unquote third world, people from the East or whatever, they'll have family in the Western world. And do you know what happens when they have family in the Western world? That family in the Western world starts imposing the ideals of the West on their family in the Eastern world. Right now, my mother, right, she lives in my home country, right, whereas my grandmother lives here. Now, my grandmother pushed some doctrine on my mother that, is a Western doctrine. And the long story short of it is, my mother's alone and single, right? Whereas she could, had she just maintained the ancient ways, she would have, she would have had someone and she would have been okay, right? Yet now she's just stressing because she's getting old and lonely. She has nobody. Why? But that's because because Esau's heaped everyone over here in the West. That also acts as a way of of distributing his witchcraft throughout the earth, right? This is verse 15. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink. Once again, that's philosophies. And Esau's going to ultimately be destroyed for doing that, right? That puttest thy bottle to him and makes him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness, right? This is Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity, right? And women's lib. All of these different things, that Esau be pushing, right? Basically, upsetting the balance, right? Let me grab that. Upsetting the balance of what the Lord set up. Right, of upsetting the balance the Lord set up, that's iniquity, man. Right, because the Lord set up an order, but Esau came and was like, oh no, my Lord Mosai doesn't know what he's doing. Right, so 1 Corinthians 11:3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushai is the Most High. So that's the order that's set up by by the Most High. But you read Isaiah 10, Isaiah 29:16, right? Those going into the fact that Esau's turned things upside down. He's written laws that basically fuck up the natural order of things, right? Which is why the earth is in the mess that it is today. Right, it says, and work evil upon their beds when the morning is like they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. Right, so Esau will be doing whatever he does, because currently he's got the power. You read Job 9:24, the power, the earth is given it into the hand of the wicked, right? So he's got the power of the earth right now, but the Lord is coming back to reset things. Right, you think we're going to be having some women's lib feminism in our kingdom, right? You think we're going to be having women back-chatting men in our kingdom, right? You think, hey, in the kingdom, all women are going to be Israel's women, i.e. under the vibration of Israel, and so will every man, right? And even that statement, every man's under Esau's vibration. Even us, which is what the scripture says, although the outward man perished, the inward man is renewed day by day, right? Because even us will have a simp tendency, right? Why? Because we grew up in this world, right? When you say you spent 20 years in Esau's world before you grew up in the found out you're an Israelite. That's 20 years of madness that was programmed into you, and then now you've got to slowly work that away, right? So, hey, Lord's will, as always, I was edifying. Till the next time, Shalom.